Time to get started. If we can get Daryl to sit down. All right. All right, we're going to have these boys sing some songs, and this is my first time to do this, so we'll see how it goes.
We will be singing number 453, Love Lifted Me. We will be singing the first verse only. 453. I was sinking deep in sin, far from the peaceful shore, very deeply stained within, seeking to rise no more. But the master of the sea heard my despairing cry. From the waters lifted me, now safe am I. Love lifted me, love lifted me, when nothing else could help. Love lifted me, love lifted me, love lifted me, when nothing else could help. Love lifted me. $5.28. I know my Redeemer lives. $5.28. I know that my Redeemer lives and ever prays for me. I know eternal life He gives from sin and sorrow free. I know that my Redeemer lives. I know eternal life He gives. I know eternal lives. My Redeemer lives. $467. Will your anchor hold in the storms of life, when the unfold journeys of strife, when the strong tides lift and the cables strain? Will your anchor lift or firm remain? We have an anchor that keeps the soul steadfast and sure while the billows roll. Rise to the rock which cannot move, grounded firm and deep in the Savior's love.
I'll be singing 129, Amazing Grace. 129. 129. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
587, Sing and Be Happy. 587. The skies above you are gray, you are feeling so blue. If your cares and burdens seem gray all the whole day through, there's a silver light that shines in the heavenly land. Look by faith and see, my friend, trust His promises grand. Sing and be happy, press on to the goal. Trust Him who leads you, He will keep your soul. Let all be faithful, look to Him and pray. Lift your voice and praise Him in song. Sing and be happy today.
412.
412.
As I travel this the best I can. Are you okay? You want me to stay up here? Tell me why. 1014. Jesus loves me. This I know. For the Bible tells me so. Little ones to and behold. They are weak, but He is strong. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. Yes, Jesus loves me. The Bible tells me so. $8.51, I'll fly away. $8.51 first. Some glad morning when the stuff is over, I'll fly away. Through on God's precious shores, I'll fly away. I'll fly away, glory, I'll away. When I die, hallelujah,
You know that Bentley, he probably leads singing with his hand better than I do up there. I used to lead singing, and I would forget what my hand was doing, and I'd be like leading singing, and everybody's like, man, your hand was like, I'm like, I forgot my hand was moving, and that's why I don't lead singing anymore. I have to do it without my hand motions most of the time. In Genesis chapter 17, we see the Lord, he comes to Abraham and Sarah, his wife, and at this time, Abraham is 100 years old. And at this time also, his wife, Sarah, is 90 years old. And the Lord comes to Abraham, and he tells Abraham, about this time next year, you're going to have a son. How do you think that made Abraham feel? Listen to what happens. It's funny that what happens when Abraham hears that he's going to have a son at 100 years old and his wife being 90 years old. Listen to what happens. Then Abraham fell on his face and laughed and said to himself, shall a child be born to a man who's 100 years old? Shall Sarah, who is 90 years old, bear a child? Abraham went to the ground in laughter, and you can see him on the ground just laughing up a storm. God's telling him this, and he's on the ground laughing up a storm in the face of God. It seemed impossible, but with God, things become possible. Listen to what Sarah does when she hears about that she's going to have a son at 90 years old. And it says, the Lord said, I will surely return to you about this time next year, and Sarah, your wife, shall have a son. And Sarah was listening at the tent behind him. Now Abraham and Sarah were old, advanced in years, the way women had ceased to be with Sarah. So Sarah laughed to herself, saying, after I'm worn out and my Lord is old, shall I have pleasure? The Lord said to Abraham, why did Sarah laugh and say, shall I indeed bear a child now that I'm old? Is anything too hard for the Lord? At the appointed time I'll return to you, and about this time next year, and Sarah shall have a son. But Sarah denied it, saying, hey, I didn't laugh, for she was afraid. He said, no, but you did laugh. So Sarah, she's the same way. She's not as bad. She don't get on the ground, but she laughs to herself. Because it said in verse 11, it said, the wayward woman had ceased to be with Sarah. She was past the age of having children at this time. But I'll tell you, and I'll tell you again, what seems impossible to human is possible with God. He makes all things possible through him. Has the Lord ever caused you to laugh in amazement? Things that just seem too good to be true, and they came true. Things that God says he'll do for you, and you just laugh in amazement. How about when you heard that Jim had a liver? Did you laugh? Did it cause you to laugh? Maybe if you're like me, tears started to flow at first, but then my mouth is like, I was so happy. The Lord has caused us to laugh. I remember I went to see them this week on Monday. First thing, went down there to see them, and I was talking to them, and I said, I wonder how many prayers have been offered up for this one liver throughout these 2 years or however long it had been. How many prayers, and God only knows, but how many prayers went up for this one liver? And the Lord said, just keep praying. Keep praying, and I'm going to make you laugh one of these days. And the Lord's caused us to laugh, and I hope you'll laugh a bunch in your life as you realize what the Lord has done for you and what he will do for you and the surprises he puts before us. I hope we'll laugh when we're reminded of the Lord and what he can do. What with man seems impossible, with God are possible, and he makes things possible in your life. Pray in your life, and the impossible can become possible. Tonight, we always offering an invitation. If you need prayers tonight, if you're not a Christian tonight and you've been thinking hard about becoming a child of God, we would love to see you do that tonight as we stand and as we sing. The word depart.
Lord, be saved, oh, tonight. Oh, why not tonight? Oh, why not tonight? Wilt thou be saved? Then why not tonight? Our blessed Lord refuses none who would to him their soul might be evil. Their work is done. Be saved tonight. Oh, not tonight. Oh, wilt thou be and one.
Okay, got a couple of announcements. First of all, change this week. Bad news. We were expecting Robertson to speak to us in the Devo Sunday interview for the youth. He has accepted in state, and so down for the interview of our search. But what that means, all of those that were interacting with cancer will not have family Devo and or Sunday the church organizer or high school boards will remember potluck. Is minute about burn